Coach Thad coming with a little tip for today. We're going to talk about breathing during our exercise. So while we're doing the actual movements, okay? And it sounds easy, I'm sure. It's like, well, we just got to breathe, right? But there's different ways that I like to breathe and that I recommend for different movements, okay? So let's take like a heavy, maybe 1 rep or 3 rep, real low amount, a heavy lift for a back squat, okay? The way that I would breathe for that is I'm gonna take a huge breath and I'm gonna brace my stomach and just tighten it up as hard as I can. And I'm gonna hold that breath the whole way down and the whole way up, okay? That's how I prefer to do it. And then once I'm up, if I do have another rep, then I'll start the process over. I'll take that big breath in, okay? Some people, they like to breathe when they're coming back up, which is fine, as long as you're holding that breath on the way down and then start to come up with it held, and then if you want to let it out, you can. But that's just going to keep you braced. It's going to keep you safe and really strong. I mean, I encourage you, try with some lighter weight sometime to do it where you haven't braced your stomach and see how much harder that is and how much heavier that weight feels than when you actually brace yourself, okay? So that's kind of how we would set up if we're doing a heavy lift. Now let's take the same movement, the back squat, but let's say we're doing a workout where we've got like 30 of those at one crack, okay? So there, we're gonna be needing to fuel those muscles with a ton of oxygen throughout the 30 reps, which could be, a minute, maybe even 2 minutes, just depending on what we're doing. All right, so there, I would make sure that I'm breathing every time I'm up at the top, right? The top of the squat, that is gonna be where it's the easiest to breathe, we're relaxed, okay? Certain movements are a little bit different. There's always easier places to breathe. Give you an example, if we're doing burpees, a lot of times if we're doing a ton of them, I'll try to take a breath both when I'm on the floor and then also when I'm at the top, okay? That way I'm getting even more oxygen because both of those movements or both of those positions in that movement are pretty easy. When I'm on the floor, I'm not really doing anything. I'm laying there for just a brief second. And then once I come up, if I've jumped or stepped or whatever it is, it's pretty easy. I can take another breath in. Another common movement that we see in CrossFit where we're known to get our heart rate up and start breathing a lot is the box jump, right? Whether it's regular box jumps or burpee box jump overs. Here for me, I've got a little bit of a different approach for each of these depending on what the workout is, okay? If we're gonna do it where I'm gonna be quickly bounding on these, meaning where I'm gonna go up and then as soon as I come down, I'm right up. For me, my breath, I'll actually take it when I'm falling down, okay? Because I'm not doing anything, right? Gravity's taking me down, I'm falling down. That's where I'm gonna take my breath if I'm bounding. Now let's say I'm gonna do them where I'm gonna jump up and then step down. Maybe we got a ton of these. We're trying to keep our heart rate down, which is it's pretty common, right? So I'm gonna jump up and then step down. If I'm doing that strategy, I'll take my breath when I'm on the top of the box because I'm up here, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna take my breath, come back down because as soon as I hit the ground, even if I'm stepping down, I'm going right back up, okay? So I wanna make sure my breath is up at the top, I'm ready for that next rep, and that way, I can keep my heart rate down, keep those muscles fueled with oxygen to just keep them moving the best that they can. So play around with the movements, try to do different breathing techniques, but I would say whatever it is, the biggest key for me is be consistent, okay? So like the burpee, if I'm gonna always breathe at the bottom and the top, I wanna make sure to do that throughout the whole workout. That's gonna keep my heart rate down, it's gonna keep me relaxed, and just keep me moving at a steady pace, okay? The last thing you wanna do is either hold your breath or start breathing really erratically and creating all kinds of different breathing patterns, because that's where you're gonna get side aches, you're gonna start to get uncomfortable. The workout is gonna get really bad for you really quick, and we don't want that. We want you to be moving, we want you to be efficient, and have a good time.